he's the best player on that Memphis team. I saw them beating the LA Lakers. But everything starts with discipline, and I think any basketball fan would love to see a Jamoran playing without all the baggage that comes with him when he decides to pick guns and post them on social media. But the Lakers, Mark, started very well, got that win over the Timberwolves in the opening game of the season. The win was so comprehensive that even LeBron could have, I think, 1 or 2 minutes on the same court with his son, Bronny James. And then they beat the Phoenix Suns. All of a sudden, we thought that, well, maybe the Lakers have something up their store, but they've hit such a bad skid of form. And I don't know for how long, what kind of season Lakers are going to have. JJ Redick is, there's a new man in the job. The criticisms around Redick are because LeBron is the general manager of the LA Lakers. The jury is still out on him. As a coach, like I said before, Eddie for me is the man. He's been the second part of that 1-2 combination with LeBron James. Right now, with LeBron James, in the twilight of his career, it should be a 1-2 punch with LeBron as the 2-punch and Eddie as the main man, because he's the younger guy and this is supposed to be his team. Easier said than done when you have a teammate called LeBron James. But I don't know whether the Lakers picked too early, in as much as it's still November. I don't know whether for how long they've lost a couple of games. Were beaten by the Phoenix Suns in the second game. They were beaten by the Grizzlies, and I think they lost to someone else there in between. So the jury is out. I still think, and as much as still November, Lakers, Golden State Warriors, Sacramento Kings will be some of the teams which will be fighting for the 8th seed.
For playing,
for the playing.
Rather than playoffs. Well, we'll see. And by the way, you just mentioned something about the Suns, and they're playing really well. And Kevin Durant is playing great basketball at the moment, being helped by Devin Booker. Bradley Beal is not fully fit and not playing as well as he should. But the Suns are looking better than they did last season. And it's quite interesting. We'll see.
The Suns, they're shooting for the playoff as long as KD is fit. That's a strong roster. Devin Booker, they're good for the playoffs.
We'll keep transparent.
All right.
We'll keep transparent.
Well, for me, I think LeBron must be secretly bionic. That guy must have tapped into that fountain of youth. He plays in decades as if they're quarters. This is crazy.
Nikola Jokic
and Denver
did big triple-double in the victory over OKC. The Nuggets have started slowly. We know that OKC will most certainly be one of the teams which will be bidding for the Western Conference Final. Actually, this was probably a preamble of what we expect to see in the
conference final.
Because OKC, we do know, with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the Nuggets are going to be up there among the teams which are going to be vying, not just for the conference title, but who knows, potentially even for the NBA title.
For the NBA title. Yeah, there's no surprises with what Shai does now, no surprises with what Jokic does, and he's so good, we take that for granted.
Yeah.
The stat lines he produces are
actually Jokic
are not surprising for anymore, and yet they are amazing.
Jokic has got the LeBron factor in the sense that LeBron has been doing Superman things, but because he does them week in, week out, we take them for granted.
Yes.
LeBron's figures at his 40 in December. By that time, Kobe Bryant was retired.
Oh yes.
At that age, Michael Jordan was
playing, yeah, but not that well.
Not that well. There are not that many NBA great players who are playing at that level of LeBron James, and even for Jokic. The guy who posted a triple-double of 23 points,
16 rebounds, 12 assists, things like that. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. These are Superman figures, but because it's Jokic, we take them for granted.
Mark, let's now, Mark Namanya, now we're coming back home as our next thing on the menu. I think you're going to take us through the golf and then later on Sally with cricket. So
last weekend we had the Stanbic Bank Entebbe Open, which was won by Rodel Gaita. He beat Philip Kasozi in a very, very enthralling playoff. Philip Kasozi went into the bunker of Entebbe. It's a hazard, actually, a hazard. It's a tiled hazard. And he played a shot off the hazard to save a birdie to force a playoff. For me, it was one of the greatest shots I've seen in Ugandan golf history. But Gaita held his nerve to win the 3-hole playoff. He got a par on 10, bogey 17, par 18. Kasozi got a bogey on 10, bogey 17, and the par on 18. But the biggest story from Entebbe last week, and something which has been dominating all the social media pages of golf, was something which started as banter between Dismas and Ndiza, arguably the greatest golfer this region has produced, Mzee Wakazi, the Kenyan, who is 56 years of age, and my friend called Dennis Kahindi. So Kahindi plays off handicap 14, nice guy. He bumps into Dismas and Ndiza in the changing room. Ndiza had just played 78 on the final day, so he was not in contention for the honors. And Kahindi tells him, but Ndiza, how can you play 78 gross? You're an old man. I can take you on. So Mzee Wakazi Ndiza tells Kahindi, well, I'm going to play with one club, a 7-iron. Get your bag tomorrow, and I'll play with just one club. One club, a 7-iron.
Bring your entire arsenal, and I'll handle it with one club.
A golf bag is typically, you have a maximum of 14 clubs. So it tells Kahindi, you can put in your driver, put in your 3-wood, put in your 5-wood, put in your putter, put in your 4-iron, 5-iron, 6-iron, 7-iron, 8-iron, 9-iron, pitching wedge and everything, rescue, and you go on the course. So Ndiza tells him, I want 2.3 million for finishing 6th in the Stanbic Bank Professionals Open, Entebbe Open. So Kahindi tells him, and Ndiza tells him, we shall play for the 2.3 million I won tomorrow.
You take my prize money if you can beat me.
You can beat me.
Wow.
This man is playing one club now. One club, because typically every club is designed to play particular different distances. There are short clubs for the bunker, those are wedges, 56 degrees, 60 degrees, 54, and so forth. Then you have the driver, which gives you the distance of the tee. So when Ndiza and Kahindi agree, they said, you're going to tee off 1:30 p.m. Entebbe Golf Club. And this was shared on all groups. And actually that's such a huge gallery, because everyone wanted to see Kahindi taking on Ndiza, because it was unprecedented. One club against someone who is playing with all his entire set, and he gave him 10 strokes. Now this is a bit of it. He gave him 10 strokes. He told him, basically, you're playing handicap 10, and I'm Ndiza, I'm playing handicap 0.
So 10 strokes ahead against
set.
somebody who's playing one
One
club.
club, and
One
it's
club.
playing off scratch with no strokes.
Okay,
Off scratch.
let me see. This is like, say,
In football terms,
Usain Bolt
Yes.
giving you a 10-meter head start
maybe
and
20.
running with one shoe.
yes, running with one shoe.
Wow.
20-meter head start.
20-meter head start and running with one shoe.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy,
Yeah,
though.
and beating you to the
And beating you to the tape. And
to
captain
the
beating
tape.
you.
Okay, yeah.
So they start. Listen, Dismas Ndiza is genius, because he got a par on number 1, he got a par on number 2. Number 1 is a par 5. So Dismas Ndiza's 7-iron, I play my 7-iron 180 yards, 185 yards. Ndiza can play his 7-iron 220 yards. But Ndiza has got the skill to actually choke that club and turn it into an 8-iron to give him maybe 200 yards, 100 yards. And then he choke it and change the club face to play it as a 9-iron. He can actually do a shuffling to make that 7-iron play like a 5, a 6. Ndiza, through 9 holes, Ndiza was 3 over gross. He was basically chasing Kahindi 1 stroke through 9 holes. He was hitting fairways, he was hitting greens, he was putting with an iron.
It turns it into a putter.
He was
as well.
putting with an iron. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos, but he was putting.
Yeah, I've actually
He was
been following
putting
on social
with
media.
a
Yes.
7-iron. And listen, and around this time, people were following from all over, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from South Africa, because everyone was interested in knowing. It was unprecedented. You know, how is Kahindi doing against Ndiza with 1 iron? You know,
That's a huge bet.
by hole 18, I mean, Ndiza had cleaned Kahindi, and in fairness, I spoke to Kahindi and he said, this guy is a monster. He can turn a 7-iron into a 6-iron, into a 5-iron, and then he knows his distances. He can turn the 7 into an 8 and 9, he can play it as a pitching wedge. He was waiting for him to go into the bunker, and even when he went to enter the bunker on 15, he opened his 7-iron and he came out of the bunker, typically in a position where you'd require a sandwich. So Ndiza got his money. He kindly paid him at the end of the round, and because of that, now you have two more challenges right now. At Uganda Golf Club on Monday, you have Professor Gakwandi, he's 8 years. Arthur Gakwandi is going to take on Dr. Alex Coutinho, the former vice captain of the club. And the stake is 1 million shillings. Dr. Coutinho is going to play a 7-iron and a putter. He's not doing only 7-iron, 7-iron and a putter. Whereas Professor Gakwandi is playing his 10 clubs of his choice.
He's allowed his entire arsenal.
But the difference is that they're playing their actual handicaps. Dr. Coutinho is playing handicap 8. Professor Gakwandi is playing handicap 23. So that is in essence handicap 15. Coutinho is 0. Professor is 15. 4 million shillings. So there's been a couple of challenges which have
come out of
the Ndiza Kahindi
amazing
competition. And I mean, it's given golf great banter, and believe me, because of that property, you're going to have a lot more challenges of that nature. And who knows, potentially a 1-iron competition which is loading because of what Kahindi and Ndiza did.
Yeah, and there'll be one between us, but that's for another day. Yeah, no, I'll take him on.
I'll play Maxally with a 56. Come with your full set, I play a 56. 56
okay, just tell me when. Tell me, and I'll be there to capture the content. Huh? Okay. All right, Maxally, take us through cricket and see.
Yeah, right now, what is going on in Uganda, in Kampala, is what we're calling the Challenge League B. It's a cricket tournament that is part of actually World Cup qualification. The Cricket World Cup, the next Cricket World Cup is going to be in 2027, and it's going to be on African soil, which is why there's quite a lot of interest. It's going to be in South Africa, in Zimbabwe and Namibia. And wouldn't you love for Uganda to actually be at the Cricket World Cup, because it's right here, next door, where you can jump or hop onto Uganda Airlines and you're in Joburg or in Windhoek or somewhere in Harare.
It's not
we
far
actually
away.
we do Joburg and we do Harare and Lusaka. So Uganda Airlines, you're in there. Yeah,
I mean, that would give me a chance to watch the Cricket World Cup. I couldn't go to Guyana.
Yeah, me too.
Where we competed in the...
Yeah, I still haven't done a live Cricket World Cup. One of the few things I haven't done. So it would be quite interesting. But it would be better if Uganda were actually there. So we've started our journey for qualification. What we're on in is called that Challenge League B.
Okay.
It's a 6-nation qualification campaign which is supposed to be played in 3 phases. First phase is here in Kampala. The next one will be in Hong Kong next year, and then the last one in Tanzania. So it's 6 nations. We are up against Hong Kong and Singapore. We're up against Bahrain and Italy, and then Tanzania. Those are the 5 nations we're up against. So we beat Singapore in our opening game this week. And yeah, it was quite an easy one because of some bowling heroics. Dinesh actually taking 6 wickets, Nikani, and then we had Juma Minjani taking 1 wicket, and then we had easy bowling from Rizak, Isha, and then Kenneth Waiswa. Easy bowling, I think 24 and 26 not out for each one of them.
Actually, C has always been the batting.
Yeah, because we didn't bat that well. We still lost 2 wickets before those guys settled our innings. But we had bowled so well, Dinesh Nakani, having taken those 6 wickets. We actually bowled Singapore out for 82. So we had it as simple total. This is 50 overs or ODIs. We had 50 overs to chase and a total of 82, and did that very quickly. Won the game by 7 wickets. We have games today. Actually, we are supposed to be playing against Tanzania, and then we'll have a few more. Yeah, we have a few more games. Like I said, we have Hong Kong and Italy to play against, as well as Bahrain.
Tanzania shouldn't pose us so many problems.
Yeah, Hong Kong and Bahrain and Italy to play against. I think Italy might be the biggest threat we have in this series. So if we, after the 3 series that I've talked about, if we have. If we are in top 2, we'll qualify for the next qualifiers, which get a little tougher than this. And then after that, we're into the 3rd qualifying phase against the very big boys in around 2026 to reach that World Cup. Yeah. So we've started well. That game that I talk about, in which we beat Singapore, was actually in Entebbe at the Oval. There was terrible weather, and so the wicket in Lugogo was not ready to actually hold up. But it has since hosted a few games, and our game today actually should be at that same Oval in Lugogo. So that's largely cricket for you. Hopefully, like I said, we get to the World Cup in 2027, and Ugandans get to flock
That'd be
Harare and
historic.
Windhoek.
That'd be historic. Yeah.
Well, with what I've learned today is that the games this week have us all on a bit of an edge. Okay, and well, I don't know if our predictions hold, then we are going to look at ourselves as football geniuses. Okay, and if not, I think we'll be in need of so many other excuses come next week.
They're always a minefield,
Come next week.
For any pundits. But
Yeah. And,
I got the better of Mark from our last
yes.
conversation. He knows that very well. Yeah, I got quite a few. But he didn't.
But you didn't get Arsenal. You said Arsenal would win at St James Park.
Yeah, you were right about Arsenal not winning at St James Park against Newcastle. But I was right about the rest of them.
So that gets us into the predictions, which is the next thing on our menu. We have Chelsea and Arsenal. Well, I feel like Chelsea's unpredictability makes it fun to watch, but very, I don't know, terrifying for the fans.
I'm going to go for Chelsea in this one. I'll go for Chelsea 2-1 because Chelsea looked the part. I thought they played well at Old Trafford. And this is the best time to play Arsenal. So I'm going for Chelsea 2-1.
Wow. I'm going for a draw, actually. I think that London derby is going to be a draw. Chelsea, slight favourites going into the game, like Mark says. They've been playing the better football over the last couple of weekends. And I think that Arsenal are due a good result. They're in the middle of a very bad run, and those runs usually end. Derbies help to end runs like that because they are self-motivating. I think the players will be up for this one, the Arsenal players. And like we said, if Martin Odegaard is coming back, maybe there'll be just changing their creativity in open play so they don't have to depend on set pieces. And if they get in front of goal, perhaps they'll score. Kai Havertz, who was supposed to be motivated playing against Chelsea, his former team, actually left the pitch bleeding because against Inter Milan in midweek because he got a cut on the head. Hopefully he's back because they will need him.
But that's what
it takes a few stitches for head injury. It's not like a knee or ankle.
Even for Chelsea, Cole Palmer is a doubt after getting, I think, a knock against Man United.
And they need him too.
They need him, but
Chelsea have different proposition with that Cole Palmer.
Yes, but I'll stick to my 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going with that Arsenal draw.
All right, Brighton, Man City.
Wow, Brighton, Man City. That's a difficult game for Man City and their mix. Brighton, they held their own for a long spell against Liverpool at Anfield, eventually beaten by that Cody Gakpo goal, and then Mo Salah put the icing on the cake. But I mean, City are due a change in their fortunes. I'm going for a stalemate. I'm going for a high-scoring game in this one. Both teams have goals in them. 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going for City to win this one. 2-1, or maybe even 3-2. Yeah, City have to revive. I mean, Pep Guardiola, in his entire managerial career, has never lost 3 games on the bounce, and he has now. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the first time he has.
Yes.
Yeah, the Spurs against in the Carabao Cup the other week, and then Bournemouth in the league, and then midweek against Sporting Lisbon.
Yes.
I don't see him losing 4 on the bounce, and I think there's going to be a reaction from that dressing room if Pep is the man that I know. And I'm thinking, Brighton are fearless. They attack every team regardless of where they're playing, regardless of who they're playing.
The worst place you want to go when you want to end your run is Brighton.
But I think because they have little respect for the big boys and attack, they're going to leave gaps in behind for City to run in behind. So Erling Haaland, Doku, Savinho, I think they'll get opportunities running behind and Phil Foden. What happens is that the games that City have suffered in, all of them, virtually all of them apart from the Sporting Lisbon one, have been against teams that packed the bus. They packed the bus, punished City on the break, and defended like their lives depended on it. Brighton don't do that. So I think City will beat them, okay?
All right, you have Liverpool, Aston Villa, bearing in mind that Aston Villa doesn't go down easy, guys. I mean,
of course they don't.
Their physical style, you know, their nature of...
Liverpool are not beating Aston Villa. No, they're not. No, they're not. I think Villa are due a reaction. I thought that was a very farcical way in which they gave away the game in the Champions League. And Liverpool, as good as they've been, I think Villa are made for games of this nature. It's a tight one. This is a classic case of an X2, and for the Panthers, it's an X2. I'm waiting for 1-1.
1-1 draw.
1-1
Or
draw.
if there's a winner, you think it will be Villa?
If there's a winner, it's going to be Aston Villa.
Okay, and I'm thinking it's the other way around. I'm actually not even giving any X's. I'm going for a Liverpool victory straight out. My only worry about Liverpool beating Aston Villa would be because of that man Emiliano Martinez. Martinez is the man for the big occasion. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He's top 10 for me. Actually, he's about top 7, if you like, for me. Some people would put him even higher, but he rises to the occasion and he's very difficult to breach. If there's a team that can breach Martinez, and thankfully, hopefully for him, Tyrone Mings that doesn't give him away easily like he did in this one. It is Liverpool, because Liverpool have got the firepower. And I think they will win.
Liverpool have got the firepower, but Liverpool are giving away chances. If they give away as many chances as they did against Brighton, believe me, Villa are going to punish them.
Yeah, John Duran and Oli Watkins and company.
As night follows day, Villa are going to punish. If they give them as many chances as Brighton did, Villa are more clinical than Brighton.
They are more clinical, yeah, but I still believe Liverpool will win. That is because of that Anfield crowd and their firepower.
Okay, so we have Inter and Napoli. Well, Inter's got strong defenses. Napoli creative attacks, here and there. So what do you think?
Napoli coming off a 3-0 home defeat to Atlanta, in which Ademola Lookman, is one of the most underrated strikers, Ademola Lookman, but the Nigerian has been doing very wonderful stuff for Atlanta. Napoli were also very unlucky because I thought that they created some very good chances if you watch that game. My guy, Scott McTominay, hitting the bar at a very critical moment. Had it gone in, the score would have been different. Inter Milan, well, I'm just going to go for a stalemate in this one. I can't see Napoli losing again. I do not see Inter Milan coming up with 3 points. I'm going for a high-scoring draw. I'm going for a 2-2.
This is the first one we're going to agree on, because of all the others, of course, we have gone different. But I'm thinking, despite the fact that Inter actually have one of the deepest squads in Europe, if you saw them against Arsenal in midweek, the guys who are coming off the bench, Arsenal peppered them because Arsenal play in a faster league. And, so physical, at the end, Inter was struggling to hang on. But they've got the tactical ability. But when they come back into the Serie A, they're just too strong for everybody else. And that back three with Soma in goal and the back three do really well. I like the big guy Bisek. And midfield, they've got so many options. And even in wing back areas, they've got so many. Damian, Di Marco, Fratesi. They've got everything. And of course, they've got Lautaro Martinez up front to score the goals and the big Iranian Mediterranean. When I look at them, they're the complete team for me. Actually, they're one of my favorites to win the Champions League this year, along with Barcelona. But I believe that Napoli will give them a bloody nose as well. But as deep a squad as Inter have, you can only play 11 at a time. And I think Napoli will be competitive enough to actually get something out of that game. Maybe, perhaps not a victory. So I'll go with the draw, like Mark. Yeah.
Juventus, Torino.
That's the derby. I'm going for Juventus win, even if it's a tough derby in Turin. Different classes of teams, but when they come together in the derby, sometimes they have to separate. I'll still go with the Juventus win, though.
I'm going for an upset in this one.
Torino?
I'm going for Torino upset.
You're the betting man's dream.
Yeah, you've a blowout and cold. I'm going for an upset. I'm going for a 1-0 for Torino. For Torino in the derby.
You're the betting man's dream. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going for 2-1.
1-0 for Torino.
Coming back home now, we have Vipers KCCA. Let's hear it, guys.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Top of the table class. KCCA are unbeaten up to this point, by the way. And Vipers are also beginning to pick up. They've been winning lately. Having false started actually. They were forced to change coaches because of the start they had. But I'm thinking, well, KCC are tough to beat. It's a tough one, but let me go for Vipers win. Home win, Vipers.
Now this is the actual rivalry in Ghana football today, because many years ago there was a time when it was SC Villa KCC, became Villa Express. Today it's Vipers and KCC,
yeah.
and the rivalries in many forms. One built a stadium, the other one is also building a stadium which is projected to be better than the stadium built by the other. We found them bidding for players, throwing top dollar at players. Remember that classic transfer saga between Mohamed Shaban, one moment was at KCC, another moment was at Lugogo, at Vipers. And then you had how Vipers managed to get Alan Okello he wasn't from KCC, but he was a player who was born and bred at KCC. So Vipers and KCC is the rivalry of the Premier League today. And right now they're facing, it's a pure top of the table clash, because only 1 point separates both teams, and both sides have won 5 games. KCC have 2 draws, Vipers have 1 draw, and then that 1 defeat against Snake. It's going to be a very difficult game, and there's going to be too much pressure on the centre referee. I don't know who's going to be that centre referee today at St. Mary's Chitende, but I'm going to go for an upset, Mark. I'm going to go for an upset.
I don't know if that's an upset. It doesn't quite qualify to be an upset.
It doesn't quite qualify to be an upset, because this is a game which could go either way. But I think because Vipers want it so much, so badly at home, they want to make one or two mistakes. There's still a couple of, the Stalin guy is trying to audition for the job. I think KCC have looked the more stable, more composed side. Scored 5 goals in their last game against Maroons. Wow. They've got fluidity, Kuichiriza, Ashraf Mugume, the 2 managers, Saidi and Abu. I'll just go for a narrow KCC victory, 1-0 at St. Mary's.
2-1 Vipers.
Okay, Uganda SA, quickly.
Uganda, South Africa. Wow, that's a tough one as well. It has got draw written all over it, by the way, from the way I see it. But I'll still go for Uganda Cranes victory. I'm going Uganda 1-0.
I'm going for a 1-1 Uganda Cranes Bafana.
Okay.
And the result will put both teams into AFCON anyway.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We've come to the end of the conversation. Thank you for sticking with us till the final whistle here on Mark 2. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here, okay? Hit us up on our social media pages. Our hashtag is Mark2Mark, Mark with a 2, number 2, Mark. And also feel free to, throw in some comments down below. And then also for all the teams out there, don't let us down, man. Don't let us down. Otherwise, you're going to give us more reasons to come back here, next week and have you seriously. Okay? Otherwise, keep the sports spirit up. See you next time.